How are you doing today? So if you saw my other video about fixing a mower with a Briggs Stratton engine where we just use carburetor cleaner and starting fluid on it, a lot of people have had a lot of good success with that video. Others say it didn't work for them. So for the ones that it didn't work, I'm going to show you how to do a deep cleaning of this Briggs Stratton engine with a plastic carburetor. Starting out, here's some of the things that you're going to need at minimum. If you're working on concrete, get some cardboard, save your knees. Screwdrivers, Phillips and flathead, get a Torx bit, a T20, nut drivers, a little impact gun is always nice, and let's start taking it apart. Take off the air cleaner cover, pull off the air filter. In here, we'll take off some of these nuts or bolts. So this is your carburetor. In here is your air inlet, and we're gonna have to take this thing off of there. We'll pull it off, take the bowl off, and there's a plastic thing in there with jets in it that we're gonna clean out. If you have gas in your tank, which I do, you know that there's gonna be gas coming through this gas hose right here. So what I'm gonna do is stick a pair of vice grips on there and clamp the hose. That way the gas doesn't come pouring out. Next, use some pliers to remove the hose clamp on the carburetor side. Once that's loose, we can pull the hose off. Once you have that hose off, this carburetor is ready to pull off. The only thing you need to be conscious of are the linkage up here. You're going to have a spring for the governor and this here for the throttle. You're going to pull it straight off. Pay attention to those so it's already coming off, and I'm just going to kind of gently make sure that those pieces come off as well. So once you got the carburetor off, it should look a little something like this. Next, we're going to disassemble it so I can get all the passages cleaned out. This would be a good time to put on some gloves if you want to keep your hands from getting too crazy dirty and dry. Still got that spring on there. If you're able to keep that on there, that's fine. Got your fuel inlet. We're going to make sure that's cleaned out. We're also going to take off this bowl where the float is inside. Ugh. I don't know if you can see it, but this gas in here, it's got a lot of greenness, probably from ethanol, and there's water mixed in there too. So we'll get that cleaned out good. There we go, that's decent. Here, should expect it to be equally nasty inside. We'll take this pin out for the float hinge. Pull out the float. It's also got a needle on there. The needle's kind of nasty. We're going to clean up all this stuff. So all of that was nasty, but the real problem is going to be inside here. I'm going to pop this up out of there. Here's where we're going to be cleaning. Get all this other stuff clean though while you're in there. There is also a little metal cover here. We're going to pry that out and clean in there as well. When you shoot carburetor cleaner in here, it should be able to come out the other passages. It's more than likely that this one's not going to work that way. Not coming out like it should, no surprise. So we're going to pull it apart. There's actually a couple different pieces here. This comes off. We're going to clean all those out. We also need to get it to where when I shoot carburetor cleaner through it, it comes out all of these other sides equally. And notice there's little holes here. Those need to be all cleared out. In this case, this one is. I need to get it to come out of here, so you can shoot it through both ways. Also, you got this one on the side. Another trick I like to do is I'm going to take one bristle from a wire brush and I'm going to use it to run through some of these small passages, like that one. Single bristle, push it through there, move it around. This other one, I don't know what's going on there, but it's not going through there. And it is possible this little bristle might be too big. That's spraying through really good now. This one, not so much. We've got some more work to do there. Just keep messing with it. That one's clear now. I couldn't shoot anything through it before. Now it's shooting through just fine. So you're gonna have to do that to all of these. Make sure each of the holes that you can spray carburetor cleaner through it. Keep doing that. Clean out all of these holes. Give everything a final squirt, so when you make sure you're putting it back together, you're putting it together clean. Push that back on there. There we go. Since we got the rest of this apart, it's likely that the whole problem was inside of this, but we're going to clean everything else because it's apart. Through the fuel inlet. It should come out where your float valve goes. Spray it both ways. Now we're going to put it back together the same way we took it apart. It'll only go in one way. Look in there and you can see this goes in a deep spot, this goes in a shallow spot. Push it back together. There you go. Put the carburetor back on the mower the same way you took it back off.